headed south in the Sea of Cortez towards our second stop of the season. We've completed 70 miles of our journey yesterday, having left Penasco at first light. Today, we carry on.
I'm going nuts all day checking on the status of the boat. It's the first time we've run the boat with the motoring in a long time. We've now motored about 5 hours. I somehow left the radar on last night. We drew like 340 amps hour or something. Yeah, so last night was like amateur hour. Set the hook, really tired, slept 4 hours. Left the radar dome fired all night, all the nav instruments on. Woke up, we were down to like 30% battery left. It's not super sunny today, so we're pulling in about 500 watts. So I haven't installed a new alternator yet, so I'm kind of toggling between our standard stock alternator with no regulator, so it's a little sketchy. So I'm watching the temperature on that. I am watching the temperature on the engine. I'm watching the temperature on the stuffing box. So, watching the temperature on the batteries, because that's like our new temperature relays in there as well. So I'm not really chilling, I'm kind of just running around checking things, which is the point of a sea trial. You have to be suspicious. And Grace is just up here editing away.
Having a little smorgasbord breakfast. Bill made like eggs and potatoes yesterday, so we'd have it to eat, and we had leftovers of that, so I just added some tomatoes, avocado, and some random leftover broccoli that we had. But it's actually really good. And it's just so nice to eat underway when it's calm. Yeah, I'm feeling really happy today. How is it? I was trying to explain to people what it is.
Something I made up, I don't know. Battery bank shut off, it got hot. My blower is not going off, I don't know why. So we're gonna go ahead and get in here and figure it out. I've been watching and I thought it was stable. I was seeing it 46, 47, and that's where I had it set. But clearly it's a problem. Something smells a little weird, but we can't tell what it is. The engine's not overheating. So we're taking everything out so we can get deep into the battery area and just make sure that nothing else is weird besides the blower not working, because as Bill said, it does smell a little bit. So it looks okay. I mean, so far, yeah. I don't see any like melted wires or smoke. I think it's just very, very hot. Thermostat on the temperature relay was reading about 8 degrees cooler than our battery bank. So that's why it didn't trigger. I guess I wouldn't have known that until we took it apart. Yeah. I don't see anything melted here, do you? Like, let's give it a good inspection. But
yeah, I can check too. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen out there.
Might just get the inverter a little break.
Old Captain Ron.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen out there, boss.
That's sweet. Just love to live by that saying.
Hey, come on, batteries. It's hot when your battery bank is overheating, and that's why we're pleased to announce this week's video is sponsored by Bouge RV. We just received in the mail the Bouge RV CR Pro 20. It's 20 liters of capacity, and we are using it as a beverage fridge. We've wanted a beverage fridge for like years now.
Me in particular.
Grace in particular. Like every time she's cooking, I go to the fridge to grab a beer or something, and it drives her crazy. So we are super stoked to have this on board now to keep beverages cold and lets you keep your other fridges from being opened as frequently and keeps those temperatures down. I like that it has a built-in light. It's kind of cool. And something else I've never seen in fridges is built-in tie-down straps, which is pretty cool. Like, so we can secure it. To the tie-down straps, this fridge has a 30-degree anti-shake protection, which is key for a sailboat because we often heel while we're traveling. So not only is it secure, it's also safe to be tilted with the refrigerant and all that stuff inside. The other cool thing, and I think is pretty well engineered, is there is a provided spot here. This is the 220 watt power pack that I charged overnight, and this will run the refrigerator for 6 to 8 hours. So this is where the plug for the refrigerator goes. It also has the ability to charge other things, so we could take this to the beach with us and charge laptops, etc. It's pretty cool.
Really cool.
But basically you would just go through here, this would plug into here, this will go back, and then you could unplug it, and it fits right there. So they perfectly engineered it, which I love.
Yeah, the engineering on this thing is pretty impressive.
Goodbye. So that's kind of, I think it's kind of cool.
Man, what's the temperature in there right now?
35 degrees. I think it's time for a
yeah.
cold beer.
How did I know that was coming?
And one last thing. In addition to being able to be powered by the 220 watt power pack, it can be directly wired to the ship's batteries via a 12 volt DC plug, which is what we're doing. The power pack is more of a backup for us, or if we're taking it to the beach or somewhere mobile. But for us, it's going to run off our ship's batteries, drawing 45 watts, which is not that bad.
Bouge RV is offering our viewers 20% off until August 30th using the code Calico20. So check out the link in the description box below.
Well, I knew there was a reason I was maniacally checking the temperature of the battery box. I was particularly concerned because I'm using a dumb alternator without an external regulator, so I didn't want it to shut off. We do have a circuit protector if the batteries did shut off while charging. I just didn't want to try it though. So I've been watching it pretty religiously all day, our temperature on the batteries, and it's been creeping up. And I suspected that the fan was on, but you can't hear it over the engine noise. So, strange one. It's a good thing for a sea trial though. For some reason, the temperature probe of that relay I installed is about 5 Celsius lower than the actual battery bank itself. So I just had to turn down the thermostat to account for that, and now the blower is on. I can see our battery bank temperature. So the temperature is at 45 Celsius. If you go to the trends, the blue one is the temperature. See, it's peaked at, what is that? Peaked there, and then it's been coming down due to the blower. Now we know. So here is another fun one today. Grace and I both were smelling fried food, and then, you know, we thought something's getting hot. We thought of the batteries, so we took that all apart. It turned out the blower wasn't working, but that was a separate problem. But it turns out we spilled hydraulic fluid, which is basically bio. It's a bio-renewable, so it smells like vegetable oil.
I'm sitting here like editing, and I like totally got a whiff of fried food like an hour ago, but I'm focused, so I just kind of didn't really process it. I moved on. I was like, that's weird. It smells like fried food.
Yeah, so it was dripping onto the exhaust manifold, which is hot. So we opened it up as like a steamy, like, oh no, the stuffing box burning up, even though I've been monitoring that. Nope, it was vegetable oil spilled on the hot exhaust manifold, so that's today's lesson, don't let that spill.
Trying to get to that rock there, which is like 3 miles away now. I was just resting when the engine finally went kaput. But yeah, we were hoping to make it in so that Bill wouldn't have to do this now just because everything's really hot.
Dirt on these filters, so I'm hoping that's the problem. You can see they're not super fresh. These guys are pretty small too. See if we can start her up. Well, I don't know. It seems like I can't hit full revs. I get the boat up to like 6, 8, but usually I could do over 7. Maybe the prop is fouled, but that's just to make sure I have like full fuel flow into the engine, hit max RPMs. But previously I was having trouble hitting 6.5, and we're sitting on 6.3 right now. So fingers crossed. I mean, we just have 2-3 miles to go, so I can look at things a little more carefully after that.
So we're trying to anchor between this massive rock and that little rock. I'm very distracted by all these rays that are jumping in groups out in the distance. I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up, but never anchored anything like this before.
No, this isn't unique.
I think Bill's pretty eager to drop the hook after a long day of motoring and a couple little hiccups. I am too, though. It was a beautiful day, but a long day. It's crazy, the sun just like got pushed away by the big rocks. This is our new home. Pretty cool. So we're back to Anchor Life, and we're rolling.
You're rolling.
Good amount. Not the worst we've ever had by any means, but you definitely have to think about things when you put them down. I think it'll be good sleeping, that'll be fine, but I think tomorrow we might go 10 miles south, even though this is a really cool spot, just because it is kind of hard to do things when you're rolling. But it's so pretty, and it's just so much cooler outside. So I have food going on the stove down below, some zucchini, garlic, and onions, and we'll just do the barbecuing. Some pork chops, but I think we're gonna eat out here.
Nothing like dinner on an anchor.
All right.
Last night we kind of passed out. We just had leftover tacos. What do you see down there?
So many fish. It's very, very peaceful. I think we both slept really well. It's just so relaxing. The boat is just rocking gently, but super relaxing is not exactly what we need right now because we have some work to do. So I think we're gonna go around the corner a couple miles and see if we can anchor somewhere that's a little bit more steady. And then we'll come back here when we have a little more time. Bill has some things to fix, and we have some edit work to do. So the rolling is just, see if I can get it on camera. It's very pleasant when you're sleeping, I think, but it's not great for focusing. Now I'm down below. I'm drinking my coffee while holding onto the table since we're rocking, but I wanted to film this because I love to keep it real with you guys. I don't know why, but this is what happens after 2 days at sea when everything was perfectly clean before. The bathroom door doesn't shut. We have to fix it, and there's just, you know, general crap everywhere. I'm like enjoying this cooling mat that one of our sweet patrons gave us. And basically what it does is you put water in this thing and it comes in to the mattress to make it cold. And Bill's been sleeping on it for the last 2 days out here since it's so hot. And it's pretty remarkable. Like, it's pretty legit. We're thinking about putting it like permanently like underneath our cushion cover for this season.
The desert in the middle of the summer.
Why do we always sail to the desert in the middle of the summer? We'll get used to it, hopefully. Linking up some files there.
Yep. Start cooking.
Starlink's kind of going in and out too because we're rocking so much, I think. And there's a cliff like blocking it. So just. Goodbye, Pumice Stone Anchorage. You were really cool. Just a little bit too early for us right now.
It was neat. I'm glad we saw it. But the wave is actually a decent sized swell for no wind right now.
We slept good. It's important too.
Yeah.
Well, I slept really well.
We needed a place to stop though because we were losing light, so it was perfect. We didn't really have the extra hour, whatever. It's gonna take half an hour.
No.
Engine stalled again. Don't know what's going on. I can't get it to run this time.
For me, this was a low moment. Our previous difficulties I took in stride, but right now I'm having a hard time being positive and a hard time filming. This is not the type of content I wanted to create today.
So, engine just won't start for some reason.
Well, it died.
What did start? So I was gonna tow us into an anchorage and figure it out from there. Hopping around. Maybe just go straight for a little bit, get speed.
Okay. 2.6.
2.6.
Yeah. 3 knots now.
Just using our transfer pump here to get some more diesel in the tank. Maybe things are not calibrated right. Okay, let's see.
We had just cut the dinghy engines because we don't want to waste gas because there's nowhere you can get gas. There's nowhere you can get gas anywhere that we're cruising. So,
Alright, well, back to the
yeah.
side tie.
Back to the side tie.
I guess more than fuel.
So the engine's working again for now, and we're making our way around this really shallow sandbar that comes out, or rock bar. I mean, we don't know what.
The chart data isn't great here, so we're using a combination of satellite imagery, forward scan, and some sonar charts, but you have to be very careful here.
Yeah, but you can actually see on the water. Well, I don't know if anyone's gonna pick it up, but there's like a subtle wave.
Right there, you can see.
Yeah.
So you can see it's dropping off now.
Pick it up, but
See like that? We were at 15, now it's coming down to 20, so we must have crossed over.
yeah.
It's a bit deeper now.
So we had to go way around. So like this is the land
And then there's a bar
above the water, and then this is, you know, the same thing's kind of going on underneath the water. There's some kind of something. And we could see like closer to that big mountain thing, we could see like birds sitting on the sandbar, so we knew it was there, but it's kind of surprising how far it went out. It almost a mile past the bar that you can see on the chart we had to go to get around what's underneath us, but it's very comforting to be able to watch it with the forward-facing sonar.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing technology, isn't it?
It's taking my mind off the engine.
Issues. It's an anxiety reducer, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We tend to like to go places a little off the beaten path, so we figured it was a good thing to install on our boat.
And we didn't film this, our mantra for this channel, and we didn't know we should have been filming. When we were in Maine a couple years ago, we were coming into like a basin, a harbor kind of thing, and we hit a rock. Hard, and it was not on our chart plotter. It was wrong on our chart plotter where the rock was saying that where it said the rock was going to be. Although local intel was available and we knew there was a rock, it's kind of a whole thing as to how much of it was our fault, but that's not even what I want to get into right now. I just wanted to tell you guys that we did hit a rock, because ever since we hit a rock, I've at least viewed the underwater boat situation very differently, because we always sailed in places where the bottom was sand, and so, I don't know. And we were fine, the keel was a little dented, but we actually tell this story a lot because it's kind of funny. In retrospect, I was standing on the bow looking for this rock that we thought was in a different place than it was, but we hit the rock so hard that all the cabinets down below burst open, which we've never had happen ever. And I slipped and like kind of fell on my butt and slid, and I ripped my panties. So it's absurd. It was really scary. I mean, I ran down below. I had to, make sure water wasn't coming in, and
it's one of those things you get too comfortable with passes. You've done it 100 times in the Bahamas and all over the world, and we relied on our chart data.
We relied on our chart data, which was the error there, because local cruising guides, a lot of sailors use those, which we have in the past, and we actually had one, and we knew, we'd read about it, and then we kind of, not that we forgot, like we knew, but then a few weeks later we went to this spot that we had read about and then just looked at our chart plotter instead of referring back to the cruising guide. And so the chart plotter had the rock being in the side, and in reality it was in the center.
There was also a tide sucking us in, so it was a 6-knot current inrushing, so we were trying to approach cautiously, and we just got sucked in.
Yeah, and we actually got really lucky, honestly, because we kind of, hitting the rock kind of spun the boat and got us away from it, because like our reverse situation is we have an offset prop and it takes some speed to get the boat moving, and so we found out after that 2 boats a year actually sink on that exact rock. So we got really lucky, and it was a huge eye-opener for us, because that's probably the most traumatic thing that's ever happened to us. That was kind of our fault. So yeah, it was a major wake-up call in terms of being complacent, and also part of the reason why we installed this forward scan. Once I kind of understood the gravity of hitting something underneath the boat, you know, I started thinking about the Pacific and all these uncharted places we want to go and the underwater reefs and stuff, and it's like, yeah, I think that could be pretty helpful. Because sometimes chart data is inaccurate. I mean, the chart data was inaccurate, right? And you could be in a situation where the chart data is inaccurate and you don't have local information to rely on as a secondary kind of tool. And so, yeah, super happy we installed that. But we're almost at this anchorage now, and I'm feeling a little better. I didn't even want to film this whole drama, honestly, because I was in such a good mood before the engine died. But I mean, we knew this was going to be a trial of sorts, and I know Bill will figure it out, but I kind of just wanted to go swimming. How far are we?
I'm anchoring.
Yeah.
Half a mile.
Oh my god. You can hear the engines throttling. We just want to make it into this anchorage so we can eat breakfast and we're trying to get like
it's a little bit closer.
There. Like right now we're in 35 feet of water.
It's high tide too.
So we want to go.
I'm just gonna tow it in.
Such a pretty spot. I was just saying to Bill that I could live here. And he was like, well, we might be. Like, I'm super glad that we're gonna be in a place that's beautiful while we try to fix
How
things.
How much water now?
32.
What, 32?
32, yeah. Want me to go all the way into the wind?
Yep. The wind and switch are off, FYI.
Yeah, I can feel the wind.
Going backwards.
There it goes. Okay. We're in.
Grace is being a little bit of a baby.
It's a little cold.
Just get in the water.
I will. I'm getting used to it.
There's some sort of like fishing glider at our prop, which is weird. Probably unrelated to the fuel issue, but when we did have good fuel, I was getting full speed. That would probably explain it. I'll show you guys.
Totally
I know.
covered in fishing line.
I know. Trying to clear it.
That would definitely explain why we weren't able to go full speed.
Yeah.
You have a knife?
I use a cutter.
Did you get it off?
Almost. Out of breath. Dang.
Got.
Well, that will explain speed loss. Now
Yeah.
I get the edge to run. So it's on board.
It was multiple problems, it always
It
is.
did break our prop cutter for some reason, like it sheared off the rivets, which is strange. But
Oh, the project's surmounting.
let's go to the beach. So I'm going through piece by piece on the fuel system. There's some sludge at the bottom of a Raycor bowl. So I cleaned all the sludge out of the bowl. See, they get this thing to prime now. It's been fighting that. It's not liking that for some reason. Still sediment floating around there a little bit. Okay, so the pump has stopped priming. Let's see.
if I get her to start. To be fair, it's like 95 degrees in here right now. I'm dripping sweat. Here we go. Backing up hard on the anchor. This will give her some load. Well, so far so good. The able reverse is pretty hard. We're on anchor, so I don't want to go forward. All I did was drain and clear the bowl. I didn't drain the bowl because we were in a sea state when I had a problem when I changed the filters, and I think maybe just continued to gunk up. Like stuff fell out when I drained the bowl, came out from the top. So maybe that's it. We'll know more when next time we move the boat, but at least she can start up and idle. That's a good sign. So we weren't able to do that before. It was dying on us. Man, is it hot. One of the perks of being on anchor.
Yeah, you get to jump in the water
so
after
hot.
you...
Working in that engine room.
Yeah. I was editing down below while Bill was trying to figure out what's going on with the fuel.
I was thinking about it. I did blow the line out with my mouth. I wonder if that's why the gunk came shooting in.
Oh.
Like I can't help myself when I have hoses that should be doing something. Suck or push. I always use my mouth, which is kind of gross because I definitely taste diesel. But I'm wondering because I don't think that black stuff was there before. So I wonder if it was just around one of the openings or something.
Maybe. It is so quiet here. I think I'm in withdrawal from that, in a good way, from that party boat. There's Pelican. I don't know if we actually ever filmed it because it was just so annoying, but there's these party boats that came in and out like multiple times a day at Penasco playing mostly Vamos a la Playa, but a few other songs over and over again. And it was, yeah, I mean, we were able to close the boards because we had air conditioning, but whenever we were outside and they came by, it was a lot to handle. They also had like bands.
Yeah,
routinely.
bands.
Yeah, like trombones and trumpets, and the silence here almost hurts my ears. It's such a pretty anchorage.
So glad we at least appear to have propulsion.
Yeah.
Well, it'll start to stress me out.
Yeah, we have to be able to move in the sea.
Yeah, there's these things called chubascos, which are wicked thunderstorms that occasionally come. And there's like a nightly report we could show you guys for the Sea Cortez that we got. But if something like that blows, I wouldn't want to have no power. So that's why it creeped up the priority list to get the engine. At least we think it's fixed for now. I mean, it wasn't idling. I couldn't start before. So I definitely changed something.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get the prime. Remember the rake core wouldn't fill.
Yeah.
Like I drained a whole bowl and it filled really quickly. So there might be more blockages, but I think I cleared whatever initial one was there.
Yeah. We're the only people here. Which I don't even know if I mentioned that on film yet, but we are in fact the only people in this anchorage. It's freaking crazy. It's been a challenging couple of days since leaving Penasco, but being together in this incredibly beautiful anchorage now, we are getting our first taste of the reward that anchor life offers. And slowly, the difficulties of yesterday will fade away and be replaced by happy times spent relishing in Mother Earth's beauty and soaking in all this amazing life at sea has to offer.